And people are restrained from bad behavior because they understand that risk of punishment. The real travesty in this moment is with that threat of accountability removed, because I'm just telling you, internally, agents are being given the A-OK for the sort of conduct we're seeing on American streets because there's no effort to force them to comply with their legal authorities and to not violate people's constitutional rights. It's open season.
In ordinary times, what would be, because the courts and the Justice Department are really the fulcrum of where a lot of this is happening right now. What would be the ordinary procedure for disciplining Border Patrol agents, for example, who acted out of line, way out of policy? What would happen to them? And then what would happen if the courts delivered a judgment on them? What would we
Yeah.
really be seeing?
So internal discipline is something that happens inside of the executive branch. And for ICE agents, because their agency is DHS, typically if there are allegations of an excessive use of force, then there's an internal office in DHS, their Office of Professional Responsibility, that evaluates those claims and can impose discipline up to and including firing. And typically that process works, albeit a little bit slowly. And people are restrained from bad behavior because they understand that risk of punishment. The real travesty in this moment is with that threat of accountability removed, because I'm just telling you, internally, agents are being given the A-OK for the sort of conduct we're seeing on American streets because there's no effort to force them to comply with their legal authorities and to not violate people's constitutional rights. It's open season.
And we've seen evidence of this over and over as citizen and Americans are out there taking video that in some cases directly contradicts agents and officers' accounts of what they say happened.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, there will be a moment of accountability for this. Our courts move slowly. Regrettably, in a moment where fast action would be desirable, they're not hardwired to move in that fashion. And look, federal agents have qualified immunity for their conduct, but it seems increasingly likely that some of this activity exceeds the scope of their qualified immunity. I think, though, that we're down the road before we see that come to fruition in the courts.
We've seen reports that their training is much truncated, that people who could not pass any other law enforcement scrutiny or training are getting into ICE as well.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't have visibility into who they're hiring. I've seen on social media the posts encouraging people to sign up. And many federal law enforcement agencies have typically recruited from young, successful police officers, their age requirements, to come into federal agencies. And so they get people with some background when they're young. The training can be very good. And then they work with prosecutors who set limits for them in some areas. I think what we're seeing now, this is a different breed of ICE agents.
And we'll see you again here. We look forward to your support and your continued attention to the programs that you see right now on your screen that we're going to be offering through the end of the year, a very important year with a perhaps even more important year ahead of us in 2026. I'm Pat Morrison. Thanks on behalf of all of the team here for joining us.